Hello, hello! Welcome to Juicebox and Mime and Frank. It's good to see all of you. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I know it's only been a week, but it feels like it's been forever. Mostly just because I've had a very tiring last few days. Uh, last few days especially, but the last week has been pretty busy in general. I mean, I wasn't saying specifically why, but I mean, I've said it on Discord. But yeah, I am in a new space, um, and uh, so we have a bit of a different setup. Um, I'm going to hope that it's not too busted, but if I missed any audio settings or my model starts getting a little weird, or I mean my totally normal face starts getting a little weird, uh, let me know. Well, sounds good so far. I should hope so. I was fiddling with it for like an hour. Um, Hopefully the space that I'm in now will, um, I'll have a little bit more flexibility to set the space up for, better sound stuff and blah 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 blah. But anyway, besides the point, thank you for the quench already, Mime. And thank you, Frank. But yeah, I I am. I mean, my default is that I want to say that I'm sorry, but like, I don't feel like I need to apologize, but still sorry for missing um, Thursday. Rest assured that I missed you all very, very much. Um, but yeah, I definitely utilized the time well. Um, but hopefully we should be back onto a more normal-ish schedule. Um, so, Wednesdays we should be back on with Boss over on their channel. Um, and Thursdays we should be good for. Well, shoot, I still need to figure out what I need to do for Thursdays because we finished our last game. Um, but yeah, I also do have some now that like uh, this big life change is done. I say big life change. It's not like I'm in a totally new and unfamiliar environment or anything. But now that this big change is over, uh, we should have some more exciting things coming down the line. So we'll see how that goes. See how that goes. Keep an eye out, or several. I have some to spare if you need them. Um, but yeah, Disco Elysium. That's a thing that we were playing, right? That's a thing that we remember how it works. So last we left off, I guess I can start the game while actually trying to recap. But yeah, last time we left off, um, does time pass while you're like looking at your notebook and stuff? I feel like it might. But yeah, last we left off, we did an autopsy. We talked to Everart. We um, stored the body in a fridge that is shaped like a bear. Um, and we're about to go to bed after having a heart to heart with Kim. Time only passes when you're interacting with people or in dialogue trees. Like, not even like wandering around the overworld? Huh. Um I guess I say a heart to heart with Kim. It wasn't exactly a heart to heart, but it was like the first like I want to say decent conversation we've had, given how much of a trash fire Raphael is. Um, but basically, it basically felt like a little bit of a pat on the back for doing at least okay police work for one day. Um, Mime's gonna lurk. Yeah, no worries. It's very, very good to see you. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, definitely take care of yourself. Um, and yeah, see you around. I guess speaking of taking care of yourself, uh, we should probably throw this in the chat one more time. This is a game that covers many dark topics and does not pull its punches. Oh, hi, Thingy. Thank you. Um, but yeah, so we cover a lot of dark topics, and while it treats them with respect, and it's coming from, at least it's coming from a place that I agree with politically, um, it's it can still be pretty rough. So, um, so yeah, with that, I guess we can go to bed. We do have, oh, we have 2 level ups already. Cool. Um, what did we still have waiting? So, we do need better perception. The cargo container door, I doubt it's, I, uh, I doubt it's high priority, I guess. Um, don't think that one's much relevant anymore. Um, we do need a better tool for the ice cream maker. Um, can we hide or remove checks that are no longer relevant? I think the only ones that we really care about are you. Hmm. Time doesn't pass while the player is walking around and exploring the world. Usually interacting with objects or opening containers will not pass time until a dialogue box comes up every 10 minutes of the passes in-game. A soft click is heard. Oh, they'll remove themselves if they can't be. Should I... feel like I do need some more perception. But I guess we'll get to that when we're actually in front of the body. I guess I should also check. Nope. We definitely want to... OMG, it's Arcade! My friend Arcade! How are you? Good to see you. I hope you've been well. Let's see. We definitely need to interview the rep. We need to check the union box. We need to call Alice back tomorrow. Go back to Plaisance. Beg you out. And a lot of this is just asking around. The physical instrument, one of the dock worker will not be relevant past this day. I mean, I didn't exactly want to to wallop a sleeping man? See you in the morning.
Yes?
Bye. What's they should have sent a poet. You don't like hit him? What? Oh, I guess that's how I sleep. Is there anything else to... It's
The bed
already...
is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours.
It's also
The
like
sheets look awful.
midnight. So maybe I should actually try to get some rest. Arcade is pro wallop.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Yeah, I guess I could try to get the boots, but I kind of don't want to at this point because Kim would be sad. And I like him. Oh. Oh, are we entering a particularly rough scene? Dream sequence? Something? Also, Arcade, you gotta get used to it. Everything talks to you in this game. Your own brain has like 16 different voices. Maybe 20? If you include the limbic system and the ancient lizard brain. 18? No, over 20 because they're I don't know how to count. Anyway. Obviously it's very late.
Sleep. And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
What's up with the pillow?
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat. And grease.
I think most of that's on me. Blanket?
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Cool. Great.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Sure.
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh hey, I even had my gloves on in the dream. Oh hey, that's me!
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Yeah, disco is a little bit of a thing. Funny how often that comes up. You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I left.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, Where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
Well, given the type of person Harry seems to have been, maybe I don't want it to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
We can go back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
There's another type.
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry.
There's a Soleil here. Hi there. Hope you're doing well.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
We're about to go to work in the shit factory. So, came at just the right time.
Good going, buddy.
Is that how it's going to be now when I close my eyes?
Yes. Wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
The hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
God, Soleil. I promise not to make it a pattern. Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
Wait, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to go to war against the world.
I can take this. I am not going to go looking for
Are
speed.
you sure? ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days. Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. And the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Can I please take a bath? Nope. Stink mode only. Physical instrument, conceptualization suggestion, visual calculus drama. I mean, I do have a horrific necktie. I think Frank was mentioning it earlier. You around, Kim? But what do you mean I haven't worn it? Does this not count as wearing? Oh, well. Guess we have something to check out.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union must have turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
What do you mean rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them.
Hi, Goo. How you going? These the men Yap told us about yesterday.
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
There's so many of them.
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Ouch. Yeah, fair.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
Yes.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Hi-oh.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. Tell me how I might be able to make it up to you. God, sorriest cop.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Why'd you need to use the phone?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
What was this expedition your husband's
Just some
on?
field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Wait, who's this scary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
You mentioned traps. Could there be a problem with them?
I doubt it, sweetie. The traps aren't big enough for humans to get caught in them. They're
Fair
for
enough.
the insect. Anyway,
Do it. Find him. This will surely lead to a mystery with that extremely rare insect.
I do love an extremely rare insect.
Yes, please. Some science fiction is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
So it's unanimous. This sounds like police business. I'll help you find him.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but
It's just a little side thing we'll do down the line.
if you say so.
oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
Tell me more about Morel. Looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What does he look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
I mean, that's your prerogative, Logic.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
If I were to meet him on the street, what would I look
Oh,
for?
well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How'd the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful.
Okay, but tell me about the bug.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with
Entomological
entomological
minutiae.
minutiae.
Very good.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the bug.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Ah yes, Phasmatodea, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah. Here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
To be honest, this animal sounds like a cryptid. You wouldn't happen to be searching for some kind of gnome of Jeroma, would you?
I smell pseudoscience, he's thinking. Not a big fan of that.
It's simply elusive. So much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
Establishment. I thought so.
What makes you think the Phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reed saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So newspaper clipping is the only evidence you have.
Of course, most Phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insul Indian Phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem excited.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insul Indian Phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
Does it have cool powers? Very important
Yes,
question.
It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries even.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Okay, what's so special about this big bug?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Cool. We'll take that. Also, I have some money for you,
Can
Gap.
I help you? Got the 20 real?
Yep.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Go figure. Let's save over the old ones.
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
I mean, no trouble. Here to do my job, that's all.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
You, Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
Easy Leo told me about you. Likes to talk a
You
lot.
are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
What if I wanted to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence.
Yeah, fair.
People are just dock workers.
Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police? We let you off easy, miss. Don't think it will happen again.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
World needs a financial buffer zone. Privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
I just got the biggest communism builder achievement.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Damn.
Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
Okay.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
It's not time yet? What does that mean? Squint?
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. Nothing. Even though you know you should see it, you don't. Just branches like black tangles of hair, motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn. Maybe come back later and you can try again. It wasn't time yet. You have to know of the girl. Return when you know more.
Well,
This is where you say your bit.
I succeeded on a 3% chance and it still says, fuck you, you don't see anything, come back later.
Detective,
We need to talk about the man hanged up back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man, in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet.
Also, don't you dare, Frank.
Across, at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Mauritian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading, and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, the oddsoul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Not 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
It's okay. I've got 2 health.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Then hang in the backyard. Do you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Sir, a man is dead.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why are your boot prints all over the scene?
You mean these boots? We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah, we did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene.
So you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Okay. Plectrum is a guitar pick. Weird. Yeah, now that you've said it, I do remember hearing the word, but I couldn't place it immediately. Oh, you just murdered him?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Pleasant.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
Reunion, what's that?
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Honestly, I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars. I mean, like, me, Criggy, thinks that it is a fair point to, criticize capital punishment the same way that you would criticize a murderer. Not that, that makes murder okay, because the other guys are just as bad. Just doing my job.
So you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's what it is.
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age, nonetheless.
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Who got the shots?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all Hardy boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
Um. Hmm. I don't think it's the. Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah.
asshole.
Fair enough. I was overthinking this.
Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known him?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Well, we kind of know the how, but...
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
Oh, he's a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
How do you know he was Special Forces?
Because one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true.
Huh.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers.
Thank you
To
for the
kill
content
some
warning.
was a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then...
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
I guess for formality's sake, the how?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Oh. Congrats on the Tendrils juice box. Composure.
Actually,
Damn it.
they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire...
It really sucks to waste a level up on something that fails. And I don't want to just save scum over everything, but... Whatever, we'll roll with it.
Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
What'd you use to knock him out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samurai boxing style.
Samurai boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samurai Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
And the action took place.
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Like what, Copper?
So, what are we gonna do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
This seems... like, not a good idea.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
There's a lack of magnesium in me?
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
So I need to mag it sideways?
Maggot sideways? What are you talking about? You need to maggot up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form?
Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system.
Excellent. Sure. Um, okay. Um, we do have a couple of so, um, so our player character, um, prior to the start of the game, was an incredible alcoholic and drug addict, and it seems to be, at least common, like the common knowledge, or at least knowledge amongst the drug taking community in this game, that magnesium helps you get past the worst side effects of it. So, so obviously, you gotta take so much magnesium, replace being a carbon based life form with a magnesium based life form, and never get hungover again. There are many things in this game that one could describe as unhealthy. Um, God, I can drop my authority even more. Um, you know what? Hell yeah. Ace is high.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
You the hardy girl?
I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
Okay. So, call Alice back. Probably easy enough. Who are you? Fair enough.
In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. This is a Caprice Kanema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds, and go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't it roll over at the first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effectively a mobile power plant.
That talk is really rubbing me the right way.
Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
Oh, he's proud of his car. What's it back in there?
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
That's what? 7-liter V12?
7.2. Supercharged.
Also, I do not want to gloss over the fact that, what was the second option? Mom was cooking some serious macaroni.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
Fine machine.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If we ever get this case solved, maybe we can do it together?
Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
And means no.
Fair. Thanks, Kim.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Heard back from the ICP on the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Betancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Suit of armor like this would have to have been customized to fit the wearer. It must be a record of whom it was issued.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
Please do try. It's imperative that we learn whose armor this was.
Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then.
Thank you.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
Yay! That was something. Okay, back to the bookstore.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
Was it just... you know what? Sure, let's lean into it.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm.
God, how much do we want to feed into her delusions? Quentin Dilate, thank you. Thank you. There's no curse because there are too many inconsistencies.
Too many inconsistencies? What kind of talk is that?
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
First, she has her own excuses for why she's been able to succeed, so we can talk about the dice maker.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse. I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. thank you for nothing. Please do buy some books or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now. There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Hey there, DV. Well. Good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
I don't want to ask that.
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
I'm a policeman. Phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug for all the work she's done for mankind.
No.
You step in and close your arms around this foreign body, wandering astray in touch. There's a small movement beneath your hands as you shut your eyes. Then a tiny voice breaks out and asks,
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. Your hands are wrapped around her.
This sucks.
coat. The fabric feels cold.
Why have I done this?
She steps back and returns her attention to books, pretending this hug didn't happen.
Stop for the moment. I'll let you read.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
I bet it autosaves to really lock it in. Ah, horrible. Okay. So... So if they've turned white again, that means we can try them again, yeah? What if we...
This orange machine is... You slip your... No. If you want to...
Equip the prom...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer. Go ahead, Cobbo.
You liking the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Copperangelo.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Hell yeah, give me questions.
There you go, you loony.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Of course not. The name is Raphael Ambrosius
Listen
Costello.
to yourself. You're not a Raphael anything. You're probably just Harry or something. That's right. Harry.
I could have gotten so many more questions. Damn. I feel like I've been getting a lot of Harry lately.
You might be onto something there.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Okay.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Horrible.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold,
Damn.
light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still...
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Well, that was something. It's the first place you can learn your real name. Huh. Is Kuno still out here?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Child, converse with me.
I'll die before I... What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of here, face. You got done. Talk to me.
Fair enough.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Was that about you running an errand in illegal
Kuno
narcotics?
gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay,
Dirty
okay.
popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who's your dad, Kuno?
Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
How much material are we talking about?
Like half.
Half of...
A baggie, but like in this vial.
That's half a gram, sir.
Half a gram.
Yeah, half a G. Want it or not?
Not very much material at all.
Fuck you talking about half a G? This shit is giant grade A shit. So clean you can barely see it.
You can barely see it because there's barely any.
Okay, Kuno's listening.
Take that speed because I need it. Going after the most violent man in Revachol. Going in there for justice. I'm a narc, Kuno. I'm going to confiscate that crap. Going in there for justice. I'm a narc, Kuno. Lie, you need speed.
Sure, whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Kuno. Kuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Kuno when he's out. Kuno's violent dad's got Kuno's key. So you need to fuck your way in there. Go to the pier side, bang on the door till the cleaning gimp lets you in. That's how Kuno does it. Then you go to room 12 and kick down the door, police violence style. That's what Kuno does. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckhead. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here?
Come on, Kim. Obviously, I'm not going to take it. We need to get drugs away from a minor.
Okay, then.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
And thank you for the gifts of the goo. I will try to organize my thoughts on it more, but some of the changes that Twitch has been making are worrying, so I might look into, I don't know, at least for the time being, I will not encourage. I mean, it's very, very much appreciated if anybody still wants to support. I will not encourage anyone to do so until I do some more research and make a more informed decision. Because what the fuck? Why does this have to happen on the weekend that that I'm so busy? Down kudos to add optional. The sponsor thing, the like the changes to the shoot affiliate and partner agreements that are kind of worryingly vague about about advertising, yes, but also about like consistency and quality of content. So and yeah, it's they're messing with monetization again, which I am not personally super impacted by. This is fully a hobby for me. If I get a little bit from it, that's great. It's not something that I rely on or expect to like make me money. But there are some people who are much more affected by it than I am. So also I guess I just can't ask Kuno about the rest of the armor, huh? Okay. So I guess our next big goal is going to be to talk to the Pines rep.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there.
I am the law. What's going on?
Jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
How long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
I feel slightly seen. Dig your style, man.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Here to spare some change.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Do you know what the union is demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Cam, your nurse. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Sure.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
And you look sad. What's going on with you?
I'm okay, man. Just the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
What are you hauling anyway?
High-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Wicked always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
Is your machine behind you?
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
The phone A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
Can I get one of those tracksuits?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Right, of course.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Good for now. Good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
I like that guy. Maybe it's just the big words, but...
This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Good mail delivery box. Good mail delivery box. There's an animation for it.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there, Post l'Aventure. La Aventurier. Mail collection box.
The mail
Been
collection
there.
box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
So good. There's some of the bottles that we can pick up if we have a bag. It is a good game. It's just so hard sometimes. From where can I see this? I guess down directly in front of it.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Shouldn't I ask what game it is first?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Let's show him how it's done. Let's fucking go!
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
This is a good game. There's time for a last glance inward. Who am I?
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency.
The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let go. Be the bullet.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak rate triceps, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Okay, sorry.
Vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Pétanque?
Yes, pétanque. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay, I will try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven, when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Wait, did I just sell a bull? Like last night? Uh-oh. Can I buy that back?
Yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
I mean, I seem to remember picking something up from...
You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Oh, René, I found your guard booth.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
So a picture in there. You are in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately,
I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Why are you on leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
So, who was working your shift that night?
No one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
You guys looking after small and everyone working together. Pregnancy only weakens a man. Renee's but one man. We need to program, get all the elderly back in the job market. God. Hey, you ever considered an MLM?
Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Do you know anything about the man hanged at the backyard of the Whirling?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement, but this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law, so can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Oh, okay. Here we go. There are no duties RCM women could carry
But you
out.
must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you, officer?
No, I don't think there's any evolutionary equality at play here.
Clearly, officer. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea. But in real life, primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further.
You have a jaunty hat, and otherwise you now suck.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Was there an earthquake here?
No. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
I understand. I'd bomb this place too. Why shove them here in Montenegro?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in '08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Coalition?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Is that why everything is so bombed out?
I'm right, son. They lit the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still all influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Soft socialists paving the way for the hard working class to take over. Foreign powers, I don't think I just do. You know what? We're going full communist, so...
Preposterous! Surely you don't mean it. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking my piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philippe III factor into that?
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything.
It was Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
Mentioned Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
What exactly is suzerain?
Suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Got a freight bag! Bullet holes. Checks out. Love a seabird. Oh, can I can, in fact, equip bag. It clips through my jacket. Cape Side Apartments. Are you bottles? Sure are. Oh, you can just take all of them, huh? Also, apparently you can talk to the other. Cool.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
MNJAM. It's very good.
Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
You mentioned Jean-Marie Bellew. Who's that?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
Do you both know her?
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Easy, fellows. No need for this get ugly.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
What happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful. René and I were both by her bedside when she
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back, will it now?
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
Why do you think she was indecisive?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
Nothing wrong with weighing your options.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
I mean, both of those are pretty big pluses for me.
He suddenly remembers you are still there. Falls silent and turns.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
What do you know about the dead men?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
No, absolutely nothing.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
How do you know Evrard?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Are you a union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
In many ways.
Oh, yes.
So you're not an actual member?
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and René's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
What are the little things you do for Evrard?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
Kind of things?
Nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
But you need to believe in something. Freedom, the people, Revachol, even money.
I believe everyone has the right to think and do whatever they want. Even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
Okay, but can I have a bite of that sandwich?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Please, man. Can I have just a bite?
Believe me, officer. I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
Well, we're locked in here.
Fuck off! It's mine! Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
Let's get the bull. And then we'll come back to that. He's a good looking sandwich though. So
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Save the economy? What?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Thanks for the advice. I'll try to be more economically conscious.
Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand. Buy secondhand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Did we have something that needed composure? One A. Sure.
Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
Do not think we want to be quite this far down at the moment. Well, that's an interesting way to get around. Who are you?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your
grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Fair enough. Hope you didn't need that. Yeah. First stop, pawn shop. Second stop, the rep.
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk.
Hate it when my bottles clunk.
Welcome to Revachol.
Oh. This is who that character is. Why are you addressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You sound angry, Kim.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided. making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
He's right. You're undermining our best shot at real self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim. I got
you
your back.
Make a cute couple. You know that.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
And that said, we have a couple
Whatever you
questions.
say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
God. Hey, so I noticed you're a racist. Was this yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that.
Yeah, we're asking it earnestly. Oh no.
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
Kind of car you were picking
Apples.
up? Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Sounds like a cover story to me.
As detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular Koiko picked apples.
Koiko may be another derogative for a person from Grad, you think.
So they grow apples in Grad?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow them down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Got great scenic vistas.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yekokota is not in the south, and they definitely don't grow apples there.
Yeah? Says who?
Literally the name, Zone of Ecological Catastrophe.
Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
What does that actually mean?
The people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk. Those degenerates from Grad.
Okay, so it's an ethnic slur.
Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise?
Can I see the apples?
Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain unaccountable.
Rights and privileges of lorrymen?
Oh, yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. Had a royal license and everything.
What's a carter?
Someone with a cart. What did you think
Carter.
it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines.
That's a privilege?
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very prestigious.
Kind of union?
Hell no. It's a guild. Invitation only. Unions work for the rich fucks. They're basically the same. Been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profits. But you can't replace experience. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck 'em right up the ass. Mark my words.
Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter.
Okay. Bye. Where was the pawn shop again? It was down here, yeah? There's a tree in it. Ah, I just didn't recognize it.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Okay, he definitely is high.
Oh no.
Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
So that's selling.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps. Sure thing. Sure, man.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where'd you get it?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hjelmdal burning. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar. Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy.
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What is he talking about?
The deal with this man on the t-shirt.
It's the man from Hendal.
Walking away from his burning village. Yes.
Their matter-of-fact tone belies their surprise at the fact that you didn't recognize the figure in the print. Lie, sire, for no reason.
I was a very sheltered child. My parents only let me read boring books about ordinary people, and the man from Hjelmdal looks extraordinary.
That's very sad, man. Then you missed out on some pretty well executed, albeit repetitive, adventure literature. The man from Hjelmdal is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla, mostly what is nowadays Arda NFD. In fact, most people don't think that man from Hjelmdal ever really existed, but they are wrong.
Hendal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But both the man and Hjelmdal are an ontological necessity. But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about.
Wow, what?
Uh,
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
You should.
Sure.
Welcome to Hyundai, officer.
Bank. He said that there was
You
somewhere we
see
could
rows of toy soldiers
rebuy.
guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Who this?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Hey, this looks like René, the old guy who was playing pétanque.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
That's one check.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
Meant to give people hope.
Maybe.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What? What is this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Excellent. So this gives us conceptualization minus suggestion. Physical instrument and shivers minus authority. Our authority's already trash, so it's absolutely incredible.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
The stereoid approved machine here. Also, thank you, Goo.
Is the Harman Welshie W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Is it all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music. Hello again. How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Perolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Perolidon? What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Well...
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting.
No judgment. I'm just curious. I probably need to learn some Perolidon before I lost my memory. God.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
What's a particle decay generator?
A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile.
Why is it called the People's Pile?
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out.
Why did it fail?
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Tell me more about the Emergency Relief Brigade.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
Must have been tough. Radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
And you end up running a pawn shop.
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city, but
Thank you for
I
telling me.
like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I'm good.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I doubt it.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed.
Was there a way to buy things back? I did not see an option, but also, yeah, I do love getting all the lore. Even if it's, you know, technically wasting time. Also, I do in fact have -3 authority. I am not seeing anything, so... Well, I hope I didn't lock myself out of anything then.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez.
But I ruined their game. Love a cormorant. Talk to you in just a second. Docking reserved for residents. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Sure.
I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Glad you have my back.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat?
Why, yes I am.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What do you mean, archipelago?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Why?
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
It'll come off like I'm envious, and I'm not.
You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then. Unburdened by envy.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Lady 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
How do you like
My
it?
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Fair. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Guess I'll need to wait for this conversation to be over.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they
The
do?
Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo tribes?
Saint-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
Started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Easterlers 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
Oh, what is such a huge system all a place like
You
this?
mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Communist playthrough.
We built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway. for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What's your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
You mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
Who we spoke to only briefly and then promptly walked away from. Were talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I don't know what to think about that. I like it.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Not hard communist enough for me.
Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazzo of every worker a member of the board.
What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The workers can't be kings, the king is king. Long live the workers.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out. No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
Scabs of Kate, did you put them there?
Scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What do you think of Everard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
He doesn't seem great.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
I mean, not a fan of some of the individual actors here, but I mean, communist.
Why do you think so?
So good layman can't fault them for a little corruption. This this doesn't seem like a great like a great set of options I've locked myself into.
I suppose you are, officer. All Revachol. But enough about Everard. What else can I tell you about?
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie?
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help?
Can you tell me about the
Quite a
lynching?
few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events. 'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Why should I blame it on an artist?
Everyone knows you can't trust artists. They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Some damn clown stole it from
You
me.
mean someone stole your badge?
Rather not get into it, but yes, a bunch of clowns. And some Arlechinos?
Some Arlequinos.
Arlequinos, even.
I'm afraid what I need to tell you is anything but fun. I really need to discuss it, however, with the RCM, and I need your badge for that.
Unbelievable, sire. Even the Arlequinos didn't work.
Remember when my partner told you I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? I lost track related to it.
See. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all my memory of my life in the world.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Well...
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
Do you know something about these
That's
tattoos?
the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the fourth day to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality, Marin.
This reality?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
Probably just that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
What is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a sea.
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities, vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble, A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor, light reflecting off their glass windows.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Okay.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
Huh. And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Would you say it's a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
They're good apes, actually.
I don't know about that.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did they shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
It's a tragedy.
Yes. The Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
I mean, checks out.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralist.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
If always picking the option that doesn't give it to anything, then oh yes I am, and also not. I don't think I am a moralist fan.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad
tastes
proved
like prion
unable to
disease.
contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Zarat do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What's the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations, and you, of course, the citizens' militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have you been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
After that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
That's when they discovered disco.
Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. So, here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
Oh, it is a little bit later than I thought it was, so I'm probably going to take a quick break after we are done with this conversation, but it might mean that
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
So I might not commentate over too much of it, but...
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You would have sided with the king.
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I asked you, who are you in all this?
I asked you, past less detective of the citizens' militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
So, goddamn, this is a good game, but also big questions. I mean, we are a communist, and yeah, and the communist answer is probably that. I mean, if it led to communism, then even more people should have died. I personally do not like that answer. I also do not think that that the cause of communism was a medical disease.
And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the coalition took the city.
The cold runs down your spine. She gestures toward the waters.
Probably.
The wind stops. There is silence on the dark water of the Martinez Inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building.
No, almost certainly. The commune would have forced you. Such was the fate of the undecided. They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
I want to, but I also want to stand up and refill my water.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Of course, Detective.
Okay, we're gonna finish our pot. And then we're gonna go on a break.
For the rest of the world, the Aces High is just a cool Revachol thing. Politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hotfixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
Cool. Okay. We will get back to this in just a bit. So, I'm going to go on a break for just a few minutes, and I will get a proper sip and stretch once I am back. Might run a couple of ads, but you know. Anyway, be right back. I return. There's our quench, and whew. Okay. So apparently, lifting many things and walking up and down stairs a bunch, makes you a little bit sore the next couple of days. So, whew. Anyway, so we we need a badge. Oof. We need to unlock a door. Oof. Da, 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 da. Southwest across the canal. Wait for tomorrow. Okay. Behind the greenhouse. I guess that's our next obvious lead, at least.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Just wanted to know your name, little lady. Don't need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Keep looking off to the side. What you looking at?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief.
Excuse me?
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Revachol. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
You mean Joyce?
On a first name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Wild the negativity?
Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor?
Not what I meant. Okay.
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos.
with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to
Yeah?
hear it? Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied. Fuck it. I love public art. Don't mind us.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface.
You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Pleasant woman.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building.
We will investigate there if we are so led. Can we go up to here? Sure can. Oh, hey. Now we're behind the greenhouse.
Hey, what's that noise down there?
There must be another way to do the digging.
Oh, God. Just came in stereo. Famous? Balcony with a view into the yard and the hanging. This was where... we needed to unlock... Oh, hey, a basement door.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully no one heard. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft, a whistle.
Okay, so of course there's no reason to, but cool, terrifying. We can just take his shirt. The hidden world of walking sticks.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Lieutenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
God.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colourful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Don't mind me.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
Found the owner of the mug.
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Typical
This
asshole.
person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Do you really think it's the same person?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Which I think we are. Gotta say, not a huge fan of the place. Smoker up there could be a witness.
So much for a quiet smoke.
Must be another way into the meeting.
Still happening. You can talk to him?
I should have quit.
Also, that's logic.
Yeah, what's that?
It's our rhetoric. Don't really want to dump one of our higher stats.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
No trouble for me, just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Okay. Looks like you've got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the
I can
hanging?
tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinet's standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
It'll take more than rain to bring this place back to life.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
Got a friend.
It was my Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did you see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, the neighboring windows are streaked with rain.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
Need to get inside this apartment building. Can you help?
You? No, sorry, gendarme. I have to run. No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Suggestion.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains?
Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere? Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes, compassion, and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
Take care, friend.
He's gone.
You should run after him.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Great, let's do that.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity he doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments, and the man can be in any of them.
How are we gonna find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Let's go! Eviction notices. Glasses. Well, we are already dumpstering our authority, so, hell yeah. I just noticed that the justification for each of the stat each of the stat changes. Very good. Too old for this shirt. Very good. Lots of cleaning chemicals. Smells like detergent. Old shoe rack. Shoes come in 3 different sizes.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita.
Like we found where Kuno's dad lives.
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
Hmm. Love a moss. Love some sort of slime. Okay. So this could go very, very poorly and could get real, real rough. So, very interesting look you got there, Harry. Right.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
Kuno to Reuters, the name of unfinished homework. Oh boy.
Yes?
A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka, some towels and a duvet. Some socks even. In the dark, it looks like a nest.
Oh, then that pile of clothes.
Something underneath there is breathing.
I couldn't tell.
It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There is something alive underneath it. You see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol. And God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down. He's already down.
Is this thing even alive?
I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole. Maxtor is a gas company. He's wearing free socks from a gas company. They probably came with the bills. A groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs.
Fuck you. Die.
His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again.
At least he got to say his piece.
Is this Kuno's father?
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes.
I was expecting something worse.
I think he's still quite bad. I mean, what he has come to. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but at least he won't be beating his son.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
Wait, what happened to his eyes?
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight.
He's gonna sleep it off. I know this shit.
Look, he's trying to communicate.
Maybe we should help him somehow?
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side.
Excellent form.
We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The almshouse would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few.
Years, months, weeks. The pile of blankets grunts miserably. A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw.
Lieutenant, I've located psychoactive substances on this
Good.
table.
Confiscate it.
The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something in the other room. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
Well, we got some drugs without accepting the quest to. Maybe I can think another thought. Maybe I don't need the hat after all. Okay.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. The lieutenant is concentrated on the hallway. No reply. The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
Maybe I can think another thought. It's very,
After you, detective.
very, very difficult for me, you know. Revolutionaries. Books on critical theory. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. That's a bullet.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
Father Marzov, the hero of the working class.
Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
Kim, you have to admit, this Krasnodov bears a striking resemblance to me.
Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov?
I'm not saying that I am Krasnodov. I'm just saying it's for real quick. Just cue me for a moment. Don't you see the resemblance?
Well, You both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns, but it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you.
Yeah, I have a problem. A problem with alcohol. God. The saddest man.
You do, but that's not the point. The point is, he doesn't look like you.
Bus is probably a romanticized depiction anyway.
Very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you?
I can't tell. I can't see my face.
All right. But here's the big thing. Krasmasov looks Samaran, and you don't. Good, so you're not him.
I might not look like him, but I know in my heart.
Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov then. I don't care. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway?
Because I'm a communard, because I believe a powerful nation state is the only way to protect. God damn. You ever been socialist in a really fascist way? Because actually you wanted stability and incremental progress, and so do I.
All right, Kras. You fought in the revolution and everything, if you say so.
Bad PR. Well, we got a fight.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
What if I... Guess those don't actually
You
change
hear
any of my
someone.
stats.
The walking stops abruptly. You can feel tension on the other side. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoes. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Number 9 is locked. 8 has an overflowing mailbox.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. Wanted for murder. No trouble, just want to talk to him.
Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Thanks. I'm off. Let's turn down the wall.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
Huh. I would kind of like to know more about Shivers.
The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water, a straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. Underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand and the mud. Helmets of soldiers, and their finger bones too, and clavicles, littering the ocean floor.
Shivers is definitely dramatic.
A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol. Coalition warship Archer can shoot 50 shells a minute on 20 co-aligned archers. They will reach the city in 58 seconds.
The coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
He does not like talking politics of this kind.
The piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
That's right. We've evolved.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Is that heavy fuel oil?
Red dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Things are bad for you, okay?
Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
Do love a good rat. Sure. uh. Incredible. Incredible. So, door 28 is what we are still looking for. Well, we can get in there now.
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers, the iconography of communism. In other words, the star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is it upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
The antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it.
And white?
Because white is the color of peace.
What does that invoke in me?
Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. You are the big communism builder now. It's you or no one.
Someone's watching from there. Just a door. $29. 30. 28.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
What do you mean?
The smoker on the balcony. This is why we are here.
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory. Don't worry. It's mostly all still there. You can remember things. You've got this.
Sounds good. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
21
9 p.m. right here. Apartment number 28. Good. Let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
Thank you for the emphasis. So, our next stop is probably going to be Erat, but I'm also assuming that will be kind of a longer conversation, and it is nearing 6 o'clock here. So maybe I will move over to that area just so I don't totally forget. And is there anything else on the white checklist? Get our little bag. Nothing that's especially relevant, I don't think. Yep, come back.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Kim, look! Bullet holes!
Where?
Someone's been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
Oh, you mean like from the Revolution?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the Revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
We got 5 entire experience points out of it.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps.
Can we still do the jump?
What do you see?
I guess we could talk to Kuno while he's here. But maybe I will leave that for later as well. Right, we do not need to jump anymore. We can take the door. There's a door. There's a door that we can take. Oh boy. So, yeah. We still have a good chunk of the day to do. But I mean, we got in contact with the Pines rep. We where was the door to get up again? Sure does say good. Oh, stairs. Cool. We can collect these.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait, how hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on.
But hey, we can get an entire $1 here. Kim, please get out of the way. I have refuse to collect. I will remember my way around eventually. Auto run save me.
You're back before the cargo container. Its
We've
drawer has
been
not
in the world
lessened
for 2
since you were
days.
last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. And as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with the rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind.
Right. That was locked. Okay. So we will go ahead and save for now and call it here. God, this is the type of game where it feels like I've gotten a whole lot of information, but also not enough. But yeah, I mean, I've really been enjoying it. I appreciate that we have some leads to follow up on now. Thank you for the quench and dilate. Okay. So, my brain is starting to feel a little bit like mush, and so are my muscles. So, let's see. Who can we send you over to? So, I am going to send you over to Ronan the Selkie, who is someone that I don't know much personally, but they did their model was rigged by the same person as mine, Hemlock. In fact, maybe since I'm mentioning, yeah. So, Seal. We're it looks like Ronan is also doing a donathon for the Trevor Project, and is currently on hour 3 of 8. So give them some love for me. Frank has been kind enough to put our raid message there in chat. Emote if you're subscribed, emoji if you are not. But cool. So while that raid is getting going, I will remind everyone that we should be back on track for a more normal schedule. We should be streaming more during the week with Boss, and on Thursday as normal, we'll figure out what to play. I appreciate everyone's patience while I have been busy, both not streaming and also sometimes not as communicative in like Discord and stuff, just while I've been super busy, but hopefully that's going to calm down. But anyway, I very, very much appreciate everybody who came by. Thank you to everyone who has poked fun at me for being such a communist. Everyone who has commiserated with me about just how much of a trash fire Harry is. Everyone who has lurked. It's yeah, I very much appreciate it. I can't words right now, so I'm just gonna say that to everyone who has chosen to gaze long into the abyss, know that the abyss gazes back, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.